Hello, my name is Edward Krikorian, and this video covers the topic of downloading a program to your ALC controller in your Addison unit. Okay, this video is going to be demonstrating the downloading of a clipping file to one of our ALC controllers. The first step involved in this process is configuring the computer, which should be a PC running Windows, at least Home Edition, 64-bit, and probably at least 4 gigs of memory. Once you've acquired your device, you're going to need to set it up to work with what we call a static IP address. Okay, the first step is to go down and locate your network icon in your tray, left click on it, and then left click on the link that says Network and Internet Settings. After you do that, you're going to see a new window pop up, which is a status window, and you're going to go to the bottom of it, or near the bottom, and click on the link that says Network and Sharing Center. When you go there, you're going to have a window pop up, and then you're going to click on the link on the left that says Change Adapter Settings. And here you're going to see all of your available network adapters. I'm going to change the view so that you see them as icons. Okay, and on my particular PC, you'll see my Wi-Fi, which I'm using right now, and my Ethernet. And it's that Ethernet adapter that we are going to configure for the static IP address. So simply move your mouse over it, right click, and then left click on Properties. What you'll see next is a list of installed Windows components. You will select Internet Protocol version 4 by highlighting it by one-time left click, and then left click on the Properties box to the right diagonal from it. At this point, you will see a window pop up called the Internet Protocol version 4 window, and you will see your IP address configuration. Now, we are setting the computer up for static IP, so you will select the second radio button here, which is use the following IP address, and you will put in the exact same numbers that you see here on my screen. Now, once these numbers have been entered, and by the way, each of those numbers is called an octet. When you've entered all the octets, you will go to the bottom of the window and click OK. At this point, your computer now will have a static IP address assigned to it. And it is very important that you put those exact numbers in. Okay, after this step has been completed, you can close all your windows, and you're now ready to begin the process of loading the program onto the controller. Now, to facilitate that, you need to connect your Ethernet cable up. Make sure it's connected to the controller, and make sure that you have recorded all of your BAS settings that are on your controller if it is connected to some type of an automation system. On our board, you want the 2 rotary dials set to 0 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and the bank of dip switches set to 4 on. Now, the next step on the computer is to go back and open up the program that you previously downloaded and installed called AppLoader version 7. We're going to do that right now. Now, once the AppLoader loads, we're going to change one setting under the Connection tab. We're going to click on that and select IP instead of RNet. Next, we'll go to the File tab, click Open, and then we're going to locate the clipping file that was sent to you by email that you should have saved onto your desktop. Now, you'll see a list of your files there. It's telling us right now that it's looking in the desktop. If you stored the file in a different folder, then you'll need to use the little down arrow there, click on it, and select the folder from the list that you see there. Okay, my clipping file is stored on my desktop, so I'm going to go over to it right now. Once I found the file, I'll left click twice on it, and then the window will expand, and I'll see a box at the bottom that has gotten darker than the other boxes to the left called Build. At this point, I will press that or click on that and wait for the next process to complete itself. Now, if during this process of what we call the build, if we have a failure of some sort, the things you want to check are your cable. Make sure your Ethernet cable is connected properly, and you want to re-verify that your connection tab was set to IP. So we're waiting right now for that process to complete. Okay, the build is now complete, and we're ready for the next operation, which is download memory. So we're going to move our pointer to that, click it. There'll be a box that appears that says set device ID. That is actually your instance number. You want to leave it set for the default that you see there. So just click OK on that window. It is now in the process of actually downloading the program. Now, occasionally during this download process, the progress that you see listed there might be longer than the window itself. And if that occurs, there will be a scroll bar on the right, and you'll just have to scroll down to be able to see that missing content. The download has now completed successfully. The board will reboot itself, and at this point, you can begin using the controller. Now, one step I want to emphasize before you start the entire process, again, it's very important that you back up the BAS information that was on your board. And in order to prepare the board for the download, you need to turn the rotary dials to 0 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and the dip switch should be set on number 4 to on. That's before you begin the build. So make sure that is accomplished. Now, after the board is loaded, as it is right now, you can put your BAS settings back in and adjust your rotary dials and your dip switches according to your BAS requirements. Now, I want to discuss with you one other topic. Occasionally, sometimes for unknown reasons, an ALC program can become corrupted on one of our boards. If it does, it might exhibit unusual symptoms. It might not turn equipment on and off correctly. There might be problems with other features on the machine that have no explanation. One of the first things that you should do when you have a problem like that is possibly restore the program that's on your board. Now, that doesn't require doing that entire process that we just did. There's a much easier way to do it. It turns out that Addison loads a copy of your original program onto your board in its deep memory. And you as the user have the ability, if your current program becomes corrupted, to restore that version of the program to your board. The process to do that is very simple. All you do is turn off the power to your board from the power switch in the upper left corner, which is right there. Then you'll need to use a small screwdriver and rotate, while the power is off, the 2 rotary dials to 0 and 0. Disconnect any building automation system that's connected to the unit, and then while the power is off, with your right index finger, press and hold down the little white button there called the format button. While you're holding it down, turn the power onto the controller and count to 60 seconds. After the 60 seconds has elapsed, turn the power off, release the button, turn the rotary dials back to 0 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and your board will have been restored. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you.